Hello there, Stoic here. I want to go over the main page of Second Front, go through all the items that appear on it, have a dive into them to show you what's in there. So this was useful for new players or potential new buyers to help you decide what the content of the game, what is in here, if it appeals. So the play is the place that you'll probably spend the most time. If I click it, it contains the scenarios that have been designed for the player to tackle. It starts with, for each, well, we've got American scenarios, we have German scenarios versus Russian and versus American, and we have Russian scenarios. And at the start you only get two, and as you unlock them, more and more scenarios will unlock. I think the idea was if you dived into the hardest ones first, you would find it a challenge and maybe put off. So doing it this way will help you enjoy and play the game better. There are also tutorials. There's some 12 infantry tutorials and some vehicle tutorials, and these are very good at teaching you important parts of the game, important functions about moving and firing, and how the game works under the hood and how you can use that to your advantage. There are some campaigns. So a campaign is a series of linked scenarios. So if you start this one, you'll play scenario 1, scenario 2, taking your forces forward as you play through that scenario. So play through that campaign. So look after your forces, because you'll need them later. As you can see, I've unlocked some of these already. So this is the play, and it shows what scenarios are contained in it. Each of them has got a sort of a snapshot of what it looks like. It's got the forces that will have at your hand. These are your forces. This is the enemy forces. And a description of the history around this battle of Psychov. Continue. So continue is, I've had a break, I want to restart the game I was last in. So that's the restart the game I was last in. Continue saved game. So each turn the game saves your status. So if you want to come back in later on and try, maybe you didn't do very well down here, so let's try back at move 3. There's an IS-2. There are lots of powerful forces in this one, so you can load this one and try again if you want to start again, start from halfway through. So that's continue saved game. Workshop. This is the list of all scenarios other users of the game have uploaded to the Steam Workshop. So a fantastic feature of this is you can create a scenario, you create a map and a scenario. When you're happy with it, you upload it to the Steam Workshop, and these are the ones that have been created so far. Pavlov's house. So if you haven't got it on your PC, it'll be a plus. So click plus, and it's downloading it now from the Steam Workshop, and very soon I can play it. So if I click that, I will play this scenario that someone else has designed. So over the months, this should build up. I think that's a great feature that's going to make it, make the game a lot of long-term attraction. That's the workshop. Play my scenario. So these are things that you have created yourself and others that were installed in the game. So you can click that, and here's a game. You can play that. You click load, and then you'll play that scenario. Edit map. So here are the 3 edit icons. You can edit a map, then you put forces on it, then you can upload that to Workshop. You can create a campaign. So if you create 1, 2, 3 scenarios, you can go in here and link them together and create a campaign. So let's have a look at edit map. We can load maps that are already in there. So let's have a look at that one. Load a map. There's a map. We can create a map. Let's create a map. Edit map. Create test map 2. Let's make this small. You can make it huge or you can make it small. Let's make it modest. You can ask the computer to give you random woods if you want to do that. Water on means if you make a hole in the ground, it'll fill with water, so you can get rivers. And this just means it'll be dry bed. That means you want to create some sandy ocean. But let's turn water on. So test map 2. And here are all the items that you can choose to make your map. So elevation. So I can make some hills over here. I can over here. I can make 2 level hills if I wanted to. And if I go down, then we get, because I turn water on, we get water. We can make a river or a lake. You can go cliffs as well. So terrain. I can have foxholes. I can have single trees. I can create a larger forest. So you can see how quickly it is to build up a map. There's some trees, there's some shrub here, which is for, there are destroyed buildings, there's rubble, there's lots of things you can put. Some cosmetic items. You can create a wheat field. See how quickly it is to put together a map. Important. I'm just left clicking to put a road where I want. There are bridges as well, there are railway bridges. For example, I can put some, I'll run out of space. Let's put it up here. So you can put railway bridges, railway tracks here. We can finish it off. There are buildings, there are loads of buildings. There are stone buildings you can put. There are wooden buildings you can place. There are buildings that cover more than one hex. And you can zoom down to see what effect they look like. You can create big factories. You can create, there's lots of things you can put on your scenery. You can decorate the railway as well. Walls, hedges. You can have walls. Sorry. You can put walls on your map. You can put hedges which obstruct line of sight. Simple to do. You can just decorate your map with whatever you want. Put a clock. So the decoration is literally that. It doesn't have any impact on the game, but lots there. So facade. We can decorate, embellish our map. So those are the things that we can use to. Didn't take long at all, did it? So I can save and then finalize. So this is creating the line of sight. So each hex on the map, it is saving where it can see. So we finalized it. So let's exit that. Yes, save and exit. So we have created test map 2. Let's create a scenario. So here are all the scenarios that are in the map, but we don't want that. We want to create one. So test. So scenario 2. So let's select test map 2. Now set the date. Here we can set it early war, late war, and this will determine what vehicles we can get into it. So set the date, set the map. We can have Russian versus German on the eastern front, or American versus German on the western front. Let's choose American. I want to be American. I'm going to attack There are two sorts of scenario: fighting for victory point locations, or breakthrough, which means get off the edge of the map. This is the more common, so I want to do that. So there's my scenario, there's my map. Here's the map I created. We want a victory point, so where have the Americans got to capture? They've got to capture there. Units. Let's put. So these are officers, infantry, tanks, self-propelled guns, half-tracks, armoured cars, guns, and trucks, and support weapons as well. There's so much you can choose from. So let's put an officer there, a regular squad there and there. Let's put a Panzer III there, and we'll put Pack 40. Where can we put that? Let's put that there, and I can zoom in. You can see which way it's facing, covering the road. Let's do American. Let's have forces. Let's put the forces here behind the hill, so it is safe. It's better to have the forces start out of sight. Let's put a couple of Shermans. Behind here, and that's it. Save, test scenario 2, exit. Play my scenario. Test scenario 2. Here's what I put in. I didn't put any text, but that's fine. Load. Continue. This is the map name. If I put description like Normandy, then that'll appear there instead. And here we are. I can now play away. Off we go. And fire it up. So that's how quick and easy it is to create a map and a scenario. Creating a good scenario, well, you have to try that out yourself. Continue. Quick game. There we are. So those edit campaign is just linked scenarios. You have to have the same nationalities involved to be able to link them together. Garage. This shows the units that are available. The German or Russian or American. And for each type it's got, for each nationality or faction, it has tanks, self-propelled guns, half-tracks, armoured cars, trucks and guns. And you can pick, let's go back to German tanks, so you can pick Panzer III, let's select Russian, let's pick Russian tank, the 234. Okay, and lots of stats to look at later, or look at in the manual, but here's something that is useful. So this Panzer III, if it's firing this T-34, these are the percentages to hit, to penetrate the turret, the turret front, hull front, turret side, hull side, turret back, hull back, and vice versa. And this is setting the range as well. So as we increase the range, those percentages will drop. So we'll probably stick at that. You can also specify the range as well, so the date range. So September 41. So we won't have any. So if I now looked at German tanks, there won't be any Tigers here because, but if I change it to 44, they'll appear. So this limits what you can have on, what you can select when you've decided on when your scenario is going to be based. So there are self-propelled guns, there are half-tracks, armoured cars, vehicles, transport vehicles, and our anti-tank guns, and as well as it also does the penetration chances as well for anti-tank guns. You can maneuver. You can change how this looks. That's just if you want to experiment to see how that looks, you can do that here. So that's a great feature in the game called the Garage, where you can look at all units, look at their stats, and select what you want for your next scenario. Options. A simple list of options in the game. Doesn't need much. It's very effective. One good thing is language. If you want to speak French or Spanish is your language, change that, and all these words will change to your language. There's a few other things as well. Interface. Over here's the manual, a 100-page PDF manual that has all the details, all the notes you need to become an expert on it. It talks about all the calculations that are done under the hood and shown to you. It does all hard work. You just have to decide what you want to put on the map for the player. Okay, that is all the options on Second Front game. I hope that was useful. Thanks.